Hi, my loves! Welcome back to your reading. If you've already seen the title, then you know exactly why you're here. We're going to be doing a general collective reading for all of you today. As always, remember to trust your intuition. Take the messages that resonate with you and your situation and gently release the rest. This space is meant to bring clarity and guidance, not confusion. So, let's go ahead and begin. We'll start off with the astrology cards to tap into the energy surrounding you right now and see what message wants to come forward for the collective today. All right, loves, we've got Gemini showing up and, of course, Black Moon Lilith making. Her presence known once again, she always seems to show up when things are about to get interesting. This is definitely shaping up to be a layered and intense reading. At the very center, we've got Pluto, which immediately tells me we're dealing with themes of transformation, deep intensity, and yes, a touch of obsession. That obsessive pull is very present here, especially with Lilith sitting opposite Pisces, who brings in that dreamy, psychic, and almost otherworldly energy. Now, looking at Gemini in the 7th house, the house of partnerships, unions, even marriage, what's coming through is this sense of duality. It could be a choice between two people, two paths, or even two very different ways of approaching a connection. Gemini brings that air of curiosity and communication, but when it's placed in this house, it can also mean the energy of two souls, one decision kind of vibe. So, with Pluto at the core, Lilith highlighting the shadow and forbidden aspects, and Pisces weaving in fantasy, intuition, and illusions, there's a lot of 5D obsessive and dreamlike energy swirling here. This feels like something that exists not just in the physical, but in the spiritual and subconscious layers too. Let's keep pulling and see where this story wants to take us. Pluto. Why is it here? We've got the Knight of Cups showing up, right? But this isn't your soft romantic Knight of Cups. No. This feels like an obsessive Knight of Cups energy, and that's the key here. Alongside it, we've got the Four of Cups and the Eight of Swords. So, what does that tell me? Someone here tried to control the flow of feelings, to suppress or redirect them, but that attempt at control has only made things spiral into something much deeper, borderline obsession. The thing is, the 5D activity around this connection feels almost electric. It's like this dream state started out as a harmless fantasy, a wandering thought of what if, maybe even just for them and not for you. But now it's grown. The more they try to push it down, the more it seeps out in other ways. That suppression has fueled it, turned it into something they can't shake. What stands out here is the mystery of the connection. It's that pull, that unknown element that makes them imagine breaking free, rebelling against what's socially correct or expected of them, whether that's a current partnership, commitments, or the rules they've built their life on. The Knight of Cups doesn't want to play it safe anymore. He's dreaming of something more. So what we're seeing is this moment of choice. Someone here is standing at a crossroads. Do they continue to fight against what they feel, or do they step into it and see where it leads? All right, so we've got Gemini showing up here, and it's paired with the Ace of Swords. Interesting energy. At the bottom of the deck, we've got Temperance, Sagittarius energy, and the Two of Pentacles. So immediately this points to a choice, some kind of decision that's been hanging in the balance. And because we're looking at 7th house matters, this feels very much tied to partnerships, relationships, commitments, or the way two people are interacting with each other. Now, what's really coming through is that someone is starting to see things more clearly. The Ace of Swords is about truth, clarity, that mental breakthrough moment, but it also speaks of communication, the need to finally voice something that's been kept back. And I feel like all of this is being stirred up by a heavier, transformative energy. There's something darker here, a bit shadowy, but at the same time it carries this intense, almost magnetic sexual undertone. That's what's triggering so much movement within this dynamic. Temperance with the Two of Pentacles suggests someone's been trying to find balance, weighing their options, maybe even stalling while they figure things out. So, yes, there's definitely a choice. With the Ace of Swords and Gemini together, this is all about duality, clarity of mind, but also the dual nature of truth. Do I speak it, or do I hold back? Now, clarifying that Ace of Swords with Gemini, we've got the Seven of Wands. That right there shows someone's been resisting, holding themselves back from communicating the truth, almost defending their silence. They've avoided making that decision, avoided revealing what they really feel or what they've realized. And because this is showing in connection with the 7th house, it's directly tied to relationship matters. This isn't just general clarity. It's clarity about us, about connection, about commitment or lack thereof. Tell us more about the 7th house. Where exactly are we going with this? We've got the King of Wands showing up, so you could be dealing with a fire sign here, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. But then right behind that, we see the 8 of Swords and Death. Okay, so what does that tell us? There's definitely someone here, and this storyline has really been pushing through the collective lately. I'm curious to see how much deeper it goes, because what we've got is someone clearly wearing a mask. They're hiding, covering up, pretending not to feel what they're feeling. But behind that mask, all these fantasies, these dreams, these late-night thoughts. Yeah, even the kind of dreams that cross over into the physical. Let's just call it what it is. The interesting thing is, I want to get to the bottom of what this connection actually is. Because there's a psychic pull. Here, it feels bigger than just desire, but this person is trapped in their head about it. Why? Because it's outside of the norm for them. They're not used to this kind of shift, this kind of intensity, and they can literally feel themselves changing. And it's that transformation, that pressure, that's pushing them toward a choice. So what does this have to do with the 7th house? Well, the 4 of Pentacles shows they're holding back, maybe because of finances, or maybe because they're already tied into some kind of contract or obligation. And look, Temperance and the 2 of Pentacles show up again. That's the decision point, the weighing of 2 lives, 2 paths. Now when I pull deeper, we've got the 7 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. This is where it gets intense. What I'm seeing here is a lot of untamed, unfiltered sexual energy. It's raw, it's rebellious, and it's tied directly to the thought of breaking away from the expected, breaking the rules, and going after what, or rather who, they actually want. You. This is why there's so much inner conflict. They're fighting themselves, torn between the life they know and the fire that's been lit within them. It's a real internal war. Tell me about Pisces Hermit. So, yeah, Virgo energy. This person is definitely pulling back, doing all of this in private. But the thing is, what it's turning into, and I was already feeling this before I even pulled, is escapism. They're over-romanticizing the situation, creating this dream world in their head, but the reality is they're still not making a decision. It's the same storyline we've been picking up on. Honestly, feels like last week's energy resurfacing. So, let's see if Spirit wants to take us deeper. We're going to pull from the wisdom of the Oracle and see what's going on here with this King of Wands. Pluto is showing up here, so let's clarify what's really happening with this King of Wands. And look at that. Never-ending story. I can already hear some of you saying, yep, same thing, different day. We also have mending and regeneration. So there's clearly this theme of wanting to repair something, restart something, breathe life into what should already be over. Remember, we saw death earlier, that transformative energy, but now it's like Spirit is showing how they keep circling back. Then we get clean it up and by the book. To me, that's somebody who's stuck in old patterns, still trying to play by the rules of a situation they don't even want anymore. And remember, we had the 7th house energy with Gemini. It's that double-mindedness. They're not happy where they are, yet they don't fully step into change either. So what do? They escape into this fantasy version of life with you. They create this alternate world in their head, but then they return to the same cycles over and over. They'll tell themselves they're cleaning it up, fixing it, and then boom. They regenerate a connection that Spirit has been signaling should have ended a long time ago. It's frustrating. I'm not going to lie. And with Pluto here, it's reaching that breaking point. This escapism isn't working anymore. Not for them and not for you. I actually feel your energy here too, collective. It's like this deep sigh of, here we go again. How many times are we going to do this? You've been patient, waiting for them to finally take real action, but instead, they fall right back into the cycle. And Spirit is saying the transformation can't be delayed forever. Tell me about regeneration. Page of Pentacles. Okay, I see what this is. This is because this person hasn't learned the lesson yet. There's a karmic cycle they're locked into, and it keeps circling back to that same choice, that same decision point we keep seeing. But instead of stepping forward, instead of grounding into action, they hesitate. They stall, they go back and forth, needing more time. And every time they delay, every time they put it off, they fall right back into the same cycle. 5 of Swords at the bottom confirms it. Self-sabotage. This is someone who keeps undermining themselves because they're refusing to absorb the lesson that life is trying to hand them. And that's not just frustrating for you, it's frustrating for everyone involved because the story just doesn't move forward. Now, never-ending story, why is that here? 8 of Pentacles. Round and round. Exactly. It's that cycle, that loop. They distract themselves, they busy themselves, they pretend they're working on it, while in reality, nothing changes. And yet, 10 of Cups, the Sun, what do? They stay in the dream space. They live in the fantasy of what this connection could be, what the future might look like with you. But here's the problem. They're not actually walking the path that leads there. They're ignoring the lesson, ignoring what's right in front of them. So the universe says, fine, here we go again. Another repeat of the cycle. But here's the turning point. They've done this so many times now that the fantasy isn't enough anymore. It doesn't soothe them the way it once did. It doesn't satisfy. That Lilith energy, that Pluto intensity, it's pushing on them. It's making them restless, uncomfortable, because staying in the headspace without making a move just won't cut it anymore. The energy demands change. The question is, will they finally rise to it? Tell me about by the book with the Page of Cups. What I'm really picking up here, and this keeps resurfacing, is that there's this lingering lack of confidence about how to move forward the right way. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the 2 of Wands. So this is someone who is constantly in planning mode. They're always sketching it out in their head, always plotting how they'll reach out to you, or how they'll finally make that choice. But here's the thing. The Knight of Wands energy comes in, and instead of following through, they get distracted. They redirect their focus somewhere else, almost as a way to escape the pressure of that decision. It's like they're perpetually circling the action without ever landing it. So, collective, what this really feels like is a very specific storyline. Someone here wants to step forward, but they're stuck in this cycle of planning, hesitating, then detouring into distraction, which only delays the inevitable choice that they know deep down they still need to make. Why is minding here? We've got the 6 of Cups, and again, I'm seeing exactly what I was feeling before. This person keeps circling back, rehashing the same old story, replaying the same memory, when the universe is over here practically shouting at them to move forward. And it's almost ironic, right? Because the more they resist, the more the energy ramps up around them. The dreams get louder, the obsessions grow stronger, the sense of control just slips further and further away. And honestly, with this particular energy, that may be the only way they wake up, by being pushed into a corner where they can't ignore it anymore. Spirit is putting the choice right in front of them, and it's not disappearing. No matter how much they stall, no matter how many times they go back and forth, this decision will keep resurfacing until they deal with it. And here's the kicker. It doesn't even have to be about you directly. You could decide to walk away completely, and the universe will just present this lesson to them in another form. Someone else could come into their life, another situation could rise up, and suddenly they're faced with the exact same choice again. That's because the point isn't about clinging to what's already been lost or trying to rebuild something that's already collapsed. The point is about their growth, their awakening. And until they get that, they'll stay stuck in this cycle. Ultimately, they're going to have to wake up on their own. That's the lesson here. Tarot. Let's see what else is going on here with this King of Wands. What are they actually going to do? Why are they so hesitant, so scared, when it comes to the collective? We've got the 5 of Wands, the 10 of Cups, and the 2 of Cups. Well, collective, it's clear. They know you're a soulmate. That's why the fantasies are running wild right now, why the energy feels so heavy and so present. The universe is practically shaking them, trying to snap them out of whatever illusion or distraction they've been clinging to. Now, the 10 of Cups clarified by the Sun, this is huge. This is everything they've been manifesting, consciously or not. They've brought this into their reality because they fixate on it, they dream about it, they obsess over it. You're in their head constantly. It's like you live there, rent-free. For some of you, your person may even be with someone else right now, but let's be honest, they're not really there. They're not invested in that life because their energy, their heart, their vision of happiness is tied to you. The Two of Cups and the Sun together, that's union, that's warmth, that's clarity. You are the center of their emotional world, whether they admit it or not. And yet, here's the Five of Wands. All this inner conflict, all this resistance, they're battling themselves. When we clarify it, we get the Knight of Swords, and that tells me exactly what's happening. They want to charge in, they want to act, but they don't know how. They don't have a plan. Their fear of doing it wrong or messing it up holds them back, so they spin in circles instead of moving forward. It's like this person is torn between the fantasy life they've built with you in their mind and the practical steps it would take to actually claim it. And until they can bridge that gap, the universe is going to keep turning the pressure up. Why the Two of Cups? Well, we've got the Knight of Cups again, and sure enough, the Four of Cups shows right up with it. My goodness, right? Then here comes the Six of Cups and the Five of Swords. So what does that tell us? There's a very real past attachment tied to this person. They know it. They feel it, and they're also very aware that it's exactly what's holding them back from their actual happiness. Because here's the truth, they don't have to just sit in their headspace or float around in the 5D with you. This connection could be lived, breathed, and felt here in the physical, but right now they're turning away from it. And why? Because this person genuinely doesn't know what step to take, what action to move with, what direction would lead them to building this connection into something tangible. They're stuck in indecision, yet at the same time, they'll spend all day and all night in fantasy land with you. I mean, I've never seen energy so fixated on something that they could absolutely have if they just choose it. But instead, they're clinging to and almost defending some outdated cycle that's long since expired, something that doesn't serve them anymore, but that they keep breathing life into, almost out of habit. It's that push and pull between what they know is love and what they're used to holding on to. Why is the Five of Wands here? Page of Swords. Yeah, see, they're still in that space of trying to figure it all out. And again, that's exactly what we've been seeing. The energy is building, especially that strong sexual Plutonian pull. It's intensifying right now. The thing is, that choice they've been dodging, it's right at the forefront of their mind. They've already run through the fantasies 100 times in their head, and at this point, the only step left would be to actually make it real with you. So why is the Ten of Cups here 10 of Pentacles? Okay, I had to pull on that because it's telling me a lot. What I'm getting is that this person shows up as the King of Swords. Very cerebral, very controlled. But the truth is they haven't taken any tangible action. They've lived entirely in their head, daydreaming, strategizing, fantasizing about the life they could have with you. And then at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Swords with the Five of Pentacles. And wow, that's heavy. For some of them, yes, they're already entangled in something else. Maybe a family situation or long-term commitment. And so instead of acting, they just sit back, watch, and ache in silence. And honestly, I'm at the point with this storyline where I'm like, come on already. Enough of the endless circling. We've been watching this energy play out for so long, and the universe keeps nudging them. I just want to see somebody step up, grow, a backbone, and actually do something here. Are we finally going to see action, or is this person going to keep hiding in their thoughts? Why is the Two of Cups here? Goodness, the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so let's dig into that. What's this Three of Pentacles about? The Four of Pentacles. My goodness. And see, that's the heart of it right there. If you're here watching this, then I think you already know where this message is going. We've got the Seven of Pentacles and then the Five of Wands. Back and forth, round and round they go. This person is constantly weighing, constantly reassessing, but the truth keeps circling back to the same place. Even with all their hesitation, even with all their holding back, This connection with you outshines, outlasts, and completely eclipses any other connection they've ever had. It's like they know the Two of Cups is here for a reason. Partnership, harmony, that mirrored soul bond. But the tug of war inside them is about how to actually build it, how to invest in it without losing control. And yet, no matter how many times they pull away or stall, the pull toward you is undeniable. Tell me about the Sun. The Nine of Swords comes out. So, here's the thing. This person is starting to spiral into the belief that maybe, just maybe, they don't actually stand a chance with you. They're questioning whether this entire thing has been nothing more than a dream, a fantasy they've been clinging to in their head. And the reason why, collective, is because they've been far too scared to actually reach out and speak their truth to you. It's like they've been holding on to another situation, not wanting to let go, but at the same time they go home, they're alone, and they can't stop thinking about you. The fantasies take over. The desires ramp up. Let's be real, they're literally doing things to themselves by themselves while picturing you. Even if there's someone else around. The fixation on you is undeniable. But here's the kicker. They're still completely unsure if any of this is even attainable. Even if they worked up the courage to make that decision, even if they finally chose to step forward, would it actually manifest? Would you even be open to it? That's where the fear eats away at them. And with the Five of Wands energy lingering, here, they know there would be conflict, maybe competition, maybe outside noise. So part of them hesitates. It's like the Sun is right there in their vision, but the Nine of Swords keeps pulling them back into doubt, into sleepless nights, into that fear that they've already lost before the game even started. Why the Knight of Swords with the Emperor? Huh? Okay, so more fire energy is showing up again, but let's look deeper. Why is the Five of Wands here? And sure enough, the Five of Swords follows. The Devil is sitting heavy at the bottom, and right behind it, we've got the Tower. See, that circles right back to the lesson we were talking about earlier. They still haven't learned it. Or maybe, more accurately, they're flat out refusing to. The energy feels stuck in this endless regeneration cycle, going back around and around. There's a karmic tie here, something toxic that has to be shattered, and with the Tower backing it, it's like the universe isn't going to let them dodge it much longer. It's almost as if this person is about to self-destruct or trigger their own breakthrough without even realizing it, because the pressure is building inside to the point where it just has to explode. And for some of you, I'm picking up that you might have had recent contact with this person. But notice what's different now. They're not feeding off your energy the way they once were. They don't have that steady hit anymore, so it's forcing them into overdrive mentally. They're leaning heavier on fantasy, using way more of their own energy just to imagine you, just to feel that connection in their mind. And honestly, that's what's intensifying that Nine of Swords. They're obsessing, overthinking, exhausting themselves, trying to hold on to something that's slipping. Let me see. How do you really feel about this person, collective? 10 of Pentacles. Okay, well, this could go a couple different ways. Ace of Cups, Knight of Swords. Yeah, so I do see that you still want this. You still want something real here. You want them to actually take some kind of action, to come forward to show that they're serious. Why is the 10 of Pentacles here? The Tower and the Magician. Okay, yeah. Collective. I see you. And listen, no judgment here, but it's like you already know, you can see right through this person's facade, right? Their excuses, their delays, all of it. And in your eyes, the choice looks pretty clear-cut. Like it's not that complicated. They should just step up. Then we look at the bottom of the deck, and we've got the Three of Pentacles and the Empress. There it is. The same storyline that's been coming out over and over again. You're sitting in Empress energy, you know what you bring to the table, and you know this is a counterpart connection. But at the end of the day, the decision isn't yours to make. They've got to choose. They've got to take action because free will is in their hands. And that's the frustrating part, right? Because you've done the work, you're standing in your power, and all that's left is for them to align and match that. Until then, you're holding space, but you're not chasing. Let me take a look here, okay? What's the actual status right now? What's the collective doing when it comes to this person? Are you talking to them? Are you not? I'm seeing the Page of Wands with the Two of Swords. So right away, it feels like if there's any communication at all, it's really surface level. Small talk, maybe a quick check-in, but nothing of real depth. And for a lot of you, it's silence. Because the Two of Swords shows me you're at that crossroads. Then, we've got Death, Eight of Swords, and the Two of Cups. That's powerful. To me, that says you're heavily considering moving on, even if you felt this person was a soulmate. You're starting to realize, soulmate or not, you can't keep yourself stuck in limbo. There's a transformation happening on your side. You don't want to keep looping in this mental prison anymore. And honestly, that's what's shaking things up for them. Because up until now, they've been living in that 5D connection with you. Fantasizing, dreaming, pulling on your energy, telling themselves they can keep this alive without having to actually step up in the real world. They've been able to keep feeding whatever situation they've got on their side, all while holding onto you energetically. But the second you pulled your energy back, boom, here comes the shift. Now, this person's being pushed out of that comfort zone. They're forced to ask, how do I move past this Five of Wands energy with the collective? How do I actually take action? We see hints of obligations here too. Seventh house themes, the Emperor, and yes, that 10 of Pentacles. That's family, stability, commitments, responsibilities. So for a lot of them, there's something structured on their side that's been part of the delay. But bottom line, you focusing on yourself, choosing your own peace, that's what's creating the pressure. Now they're left with nothing but their own imagination and memories of you. And let's be real, they've probably worn out every picture, every video, every little stash of memories they've been clinging to. So it comes down to this. They've got a choice. Are they going to finally step into reality and do something about it? Or are they going to stay stuck, replaying the past in their head? Five of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Seven of Pentacles with the Five of Wands. So what does that tell me? This person is sitting in this energy of daydreaming, romanticizing, playing it out in their head over and over. But eventually, they can't just stay there. This pressure is building, it's pushing them. At some point, they're going to have to get up and actually move toward it. Now here's the thing. Queen of Swords, the Sun. If they let too much time pass, if they allow the connection to drift too far out of reach, that's where the Nine of Swords comes in. That fear of losing it forever, missing the chance completely. And that's a very real possibility here. It feels like they're standing at this huge crossroads in life. Like this isn't just about you, it's a life-defining kind of decision. Do they let you slip away and carry that regret with them forever, which I can already see they would? Or do they step forward and make a move that could shake things up, maybe even create conflict in the process? Because let's be real, it's not going to be an easy road. There are challenges attached, there are consequences they'd have to face. But on the other hand, what they'd be stepping into is something they've wanted for so long. Something they've imagined, replayed, even built a whole little world around in their mind. It's already alive in them. All they'd need to do is take those difficult, uncomfortable steps and bring it out into reality. That's really what the energy is pointing to here. It's theirs if they're willing to actually do the work to claim it. Well, my loves, you know how I do this. I'm just going to read the messages as they come out, and it looks like Spirit wants us to keep following this same storyline. For some of you, if this resonates, it really does feel like things have been shifting over these last couple of months. The energy is different, and I feel like many of you are reaching that point where you're tired of waiting, tired of sitting in uncertainty, and you're ready for something real to move forward. So hopefully, this Emperor energy can finally saddle up, take charge, and start putting together a plan. Because I can see that you've been patient long enough, and the momentum is building. It's only a matter of time before something has to give. All right, my loves, I'm going to leave the reading here. I would love to hear in the comments. If this resonated with you, and if you enjoyed the reading, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Until next time, sending you so much love and light. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye.